Hello, Periscope. Hey guys, how are you? I can only see you partially. I hope you can see me. Hold on, I think we've got some. Okay, we have sound. Hey everybody, hi Periscope. Thanks for being patient. You guys know I am still figuring all of this out, of course. I'm Nicole, your VIP coach. And want to talk today about, sorry, I'm in my comfy chair relaxing. So want to talk, hey, from, oh, Alabama in the house. What's up? My dad's people are from Alabama. Whoop, whoop, Alabama shout out. Thanks for joining. Hey, Miss Jax. Um, Let me apologize to you in advance, guys. I have a slight cold, roll tide all day, but I must say UConn is the bomb. Just go Huskies. It's the family alma mater. But yes, we're deep with the roll tide. So I do feel you. But as long as roll tide's not playing Huskies, we're good. Anyway, not going to get into sports today because that will be a totally different Periscope. But of course, I'm Nicole Lazan, your VIP coach. Another day, David. I'm Nicole Lazan, your VIP coach. I'm always encouraging you to cultivate vision, clarify intention, and understand purpose. So if you've been following on Periscope first, thank you so much for staying connected. It took me a while to join the Periscope game, but you asked for it. And so VIP coaching is on Periscope. Whoop, whoop. 2 points. Not going to do a long thanks so much for inviting your followers. I don't know how to do that. So if you guys can invite followers, I appreciate it. And then thank you, David. Someone DM me or inbox me or tweet me or tell me how to invite followers. All right. So if you've been following on Periscope, the last couple of sessions, I've been talking about exits and how we leave relationships. Thanks, Miss Jax. How we leave relationships is often very different than how we enter. So I got great feedback. Thank you guys for commenting. Some of you sent me personal notes and personal tweets and told me what in the coaching videos spoke to you and what resonated with you. So that's great information to thank you for inviting followers. That's great information for me to have so that I'm always, when we're connecting, maximizing our time, right? Because people use the internet and social media for so many things. I think everything we do should help us live on our best level. And so I'm so glad that you guys are tuning in to VIP coaching and just staying connected for these videos. So if you haven't seen the prior VIP coaching videos, I've been talking a lot about exits. The first video was entitled "It's Over." The next video is entitled "Excuses and Exits." And "It's Over" is about 15 minutes. "Excuses and Exits" actually is a full session. So we had time to really do a great almost 45 minutes of heavy coaching with some great action steps. And you guys had some feedback based on some of the steps that we discussed in the "It's Over" video. So we had a few steps to acknowledge. If you haven't seen the video, it's on Catch. So KATCH me/Nicole Lazan. Of course, that's NICOLEAZAAN. And if we're connected on Twitter, you'll scroll through my timeline. You can see posts and different pictures and images and deco notes that will have that link as well. If you go to my website, NicoleLazan.com, you can actually click and watch the video from there also. But right now, let's just touch over one of the points that we made, which was being a guardian of what I call a guardian of dignity. We talked a lot about leaving and why we have the need to shame people when we leave a relationship, why we feel that it's so necessary to bash people, or why when a relationship is over, we feel the need to make it ugly. Just because it's over doesn't mean it has to be ugly. It's just over. And so in discussing that, we talked about the need to not fall out with people because you're growing up in yourself. And I want to dig into that a little bit today. The truth of the matter is we are always changing. We're always changing, sometimes for the best, sometimes not for the best, but it is impossible to live and exist in this world and to not change. So we're changing in relationships. Our interests change, our needs change, what we thought we wanted, our expectations, all of these things are subject to change. The problem happens when we fail to acknowledge the change. So there are two A's that we do. We fail to acknowledge the change. We just deny it. We don't act like we want something different or something more, or we fail to articulate the change. And that's really problematic in a relationship. When I know what has changed in me, or I know the change that I would like to see in our relationship, but I don't tell you, I hold that information hostage, and I kind of play this Jedi mind game to see, well, I'm gonna just wait and see if you figure out what's wrong with me. Because if we're really connected, you would know what's wrong with me. And relationships come to an exit. They can come to an abrupt end because people get tired of playing the guessing game. Being in a relationship, whether it's love, whether it's friendship, it can be a partnership, it can be ministry. Being in any relationship is work. All relationships are work. You're never going to find a relationship that is not work. Even a relationship with God, our worship, it's working out our soul salvation. So if you're looking for an easy relationship and your definition of easy means no work, you're never going to find it. You're not ever going to find a relationship without work. So settle that as a truth in your life, and just know going into every relationship, there's going to be work involved. The work of connecting, the work of communicating, the work of giving the person room and space to change. So what I mean when I say don't fall out with people because you're growing up in yourself. When you find that you have changed, let's just deal with ourselves tonight. When I know that I've changed in a relationship, I discovered something about myself. It can be a new passion, a new interest, something I want to explore. Something in me has changed. My needs have changed. My time frame has changed. Perhaps I was okay initially easing into the relationship, but now I want more of a commitment, or now I would like to spend more time with the person. Whatever the change is, number one, it's your responsibility to acknowledge it. It's your responsibility to articulate that change. But when you find yourself growing up in yourself, you can't fall out with people. We have the tendency to get a little temper tantrumish, right? If you've ever seen a toddler or a child going through what we call the terrible twos, I call them the explorative twos, but that child is discovering their own independence. They're figuring out that they don't want to get dressed and they don't want to eat carrots. And so their favorite word is no. Just no to everything. Hey, come here, come eat. No. Take a bath. No. Come here, sit down. No. Give me a hug. No. And they can say it laughing and smiling because they don't really know what no means. So sometimes a toddler responding because they don't have the command of language, they are giving you mixed signals. So you say, do you want this? And they say, no. And you say, are you sure? No, because they haven't mastered communication. They don't know how to align what they mean with what they're saying. But as adults, we have a command of language. And so once you do your digging and you understand what it is that's changed in you, first acknowledge that change. Acknowledge it in yourself. Find words, put language to the change that's happening. That's going to help you to take the next step, which is to articulate that change. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. We don't have to bash people because we've changed. So we don't have to say, well, I thought this relationship was right, but you're horrible and you're suck and you're not what I need. And so I'm out of here. That's not the way that we handle exits. It's not the way that we handle relationships when we are mature. When we're mature, first of all, we use our eyes. We speak for ourselves and we speak of ourselves. So once we acknowledge the change, I know specifically what has changed in me. I want to know where this relationship is headed. I want a raise for the work that I'm doing. I want to move forward in leadership. Whatever the change is, be able to acknowledge it. And then secondly, be able to articulate it to someone else. You have to say it to yourself first, and then you need to be able to articulate to other people what has changed. If you can't say what's going on with you, other people will fill in the blank for you. When people ask what's going on with you, what's up with you, and you don't have an answer, people will respond with their own analysis. Well, I think you just moody. I think you just attitudinal. I think you just going through something. I think you just off. People will fill in the blank for you. So finish your sentence. Be able to articulate your change. I am working on A, B, C, or D. I have learned that I require more sleep. So functioning on 4 hours of sleep makes me grouchy and crabby in the morning. Whatever the change is, they will indeed. You have to be able to articulate that change. And when you can't articulate the change, that's when we regress, you and I included. If we can't articulate the change, that's when we regress to that terrible temper tantrum behavior. We start falling out. Because what do children do when they can't speak up, when they can't say what they're feeling? They fall out. They just fall out, right? And we've all seen a child in the arms of an adult who's squirming and inching and wanting to get down and trying it, and they're not going anywhere. If you put them down, they're going to cry because they really want to be held, but they don't want to be confined and restricted. And how often do we play out the same posture in relationships? We don't want to be out of the relationship. We don't really want to quit the job, but we don't want to arrive to work on time. We don't want to not have a boo thing, not have a man, not have a woman, but we don't really want to be faithful all the time. We don't really want to commit to communicating all the time. We don't want to share our space. We still want to kind of do our own thing. We don't want the responsibility that holding a posture would require in a relationship. So we've got to articulate what the change is. If you don't find words, if you don't put words to your change, you're going to fall out with people. You're going to begin to act out and have temper tantrums. It'll come out in your behavior. It will come out in avoidance or absenteeism. Maybe you avoid people. There are a lot of ways to not show up in life and in a relationship. Some people have mastered the art of being irresponsible just by staying mad all the time. They just keep an attitude all of the time. And so they know if I keep this wall up and this defense up, people aren't going to ask me for nothing because they know I'm not the one, right? So it's a way to put up a fence and put up a wall, but it creates distance. It causes you to fall out with people. Don't fall out. Don't flail your arms in a relationship. Don't whine and fuss. Do not fall out with people when you grow up in yourself, because when we grow up, we grow up. We use our words. We articulate the things that we have learned about ourselves and about the other person. And you can tell when you've grown up by your speech. The number one indicator, I really feel, of people's emotional stability, not intellect. I'm not talking about vocabulary or SAT word score, but I can tell your maturity in life and in dealing with people by your level of conversation. I can tell how mature you are, how stable you are in your emotions by what you say, how you say it, when you say it, and what you don't say. When you're able to, as Sophia Nelson says, have a courageous conversation, right? When you are able to deal with matters in real time, when you're able to say what you need to say to the person to whom you need to say it. Because here's the truth. If I can complain to someone about you, then I can have a direct conversation with you. Because my ability to complain, my ability to tell someone else what's wrong with you, well, she doesn't do this and I wish he would do that, and I just wish she would do that. We say that to a third party because we don't want to do the work of relationship. We don't want to relay the message, the information that we've discovered about ourselves. We don't want to relay that to the person who needs that information. So I tell someone else, girl, I wish my husband would do this. He just can't do that. And then he comes home and says, hey, what's the matter with you? You kind of stomping, you brooding. Nothing, I'm fine. You sure you're all right? Is there anything I could do? No, you ain't got to do nothing. I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm fine. You sure? Yeah, I'm fine. Because we don't want to do the work. And men, you're not off the hook. You guys do the same thing too. Babe, what's the matter? Nothing, I'm all right. I'm all right. And you stomp and you slam the cabinet doors and you huff and puff and mumble to yourself. I don't speak man whine. I don't know what you're saying. Babe, are you okay? Is something wrong? What's the matter? Nothing. I'm just go do something. Okay. Would you like, what do you want for dinner? Nothing. Whatever you make, it's fine. It's cool. I don't care. Okay, and then you make dinner. Well, why we gotta have chicken? Because, bro, you didn't have an opinion when I asked. You didn't articulate your desire. I'm just tired of chicken. I'm tired. Come on. Do the work in relationships. It's work. You're never going to avoid the work. And guess what? It's work that you enjoyed. It's work that you begged to do before you committed in a relationship. When you dated that person, you love talking to them. You talk to them more than anybody else. You love communicating. You talked about the same things over and over and over and over and over again. You talk to that person and then you talk to everybody else about that person. We got sick of you talking about that person. And now that you're in the relationship, I just don't want to talk. I just don't have anything to say. Not true. Because the same people you will talk around and avoid in your house, you'll then get on social media and you will talk. You'll use words to chat. You will use words to text. You'll use words to message back and forth. And so we're talking to coworkers. We're talking to people that we don't know. We're talking to people that we've never met in real life. And we're having serious conversations, but there's a disconnect in the people in whom we're in committed relationships with. So that's a side note on just assessing our communication. But once you articulate and you acknowledge the change, articulate it, put words to it. When you've put words to it, check your language. Because what you have to say may be true, it may be accurate, it may be important, but the way you say it is what people are going to remember. And it's the way you say it, and it's also when you say it. It is arrogant, it is rude to hold something inside yourself. It's rude to stir yourself up and get mad about something. And, women, I call us team estrogen. We can do this a lot. Not that men don't do it, but we tend to kind of do it differently. We can be upset about something and we won't say anything in real time. We'll hold it in, we'll process and listen. Sometimes we have delayed reactions. That's perfectly acceptable. I have a delayed reaction oftentimes. What I have to make myself do is implement a window for me to cool down. And ladies, we can relate to this because we deal with hair. And so we know there's a warm up time and there's a cool down time. You don't plug in that curling iron and just put it to your head right away because it's not hot yet. And you don't take that curling iron done once you bump that last curl and then just sit it on the dresser because it's got to cool down. Well, we're the same way in relationships. When we're upset, we're boiling. We go from 0 to 100. No, that's not the time to have the conversation because you don't know what you're saying. You're just screaming and hollering. You're not listening to me. You don't know what I'm saying. You don't know how I feel. Well, I don't, but right. And well, how do you feel? I feel how I feel. And that's what I'm trying to say to you is that I feel how I feel. I don't know what you're saying. You haven't articulated the change. I feel like you're not communicating with me. I feel like we're not as connected as we once were. I feel like you're putting your job before me. So articulate the change, but know when to have the conversation. The when is just as important as the what. And this is a fallout move. When we use time to box people in and corner people in, it's arrogant, it's rude, and it's insensitive. That's a way that we can fall out with people. If you have to have a conversation, if you need to articulate what's wrong with you, find out where the person is. Hey, how you doing? How was your day? I'd like to talk to you about something. Is this a good time? Or I have something really important that I would like us to talk about. Can you tell me when you might be free to talk about it? And give people a heads up. Listen, I've just realized some things that I would like to share. I'm not angry or I'm a little upset, but it's nothing crazy. I'm not thinking about walking out the door. Nobody's going to divorce court. I just want, us to talk something out. And then give people a time frame. Don't say, well, we're going to talk before the night is out, because I've been thinking about this all day. I didn't say nothing for 5 days. Well, that's your fault. If you took that time to process and to cool down, that's fine. You can't put someone else on your timetable because you held it in. If you hold something in and you brood and you rehearse it and you marinate a hurt for days and weeks and months, you don't get to explode. You don't just get to projectile your bitterness onto people because you've held it in for that long. That's an area that you need to grow up in being able to identify and acknowledge your emotions and then being able to articulate them in real time. We have to operate in real time. Relationships happen every day. And the people that you're relating to, you're either getting closer to them or farther away from them every single day. It's real time. It's real time. It's not, I was close to you in first grade and we're just as close now as we were in first grade. Now, does it mean we weren't best friends in first grade? No. But if we have not held that relationship and day by day, week by week, month by month, through the years, put it together, then today we're not best friends. Not because you're evil or I'm evil, but because we have not carried this relationship through time. So don't fall out with people because you grow up in yourself. If you're going to announce to people that you're grown and you've grown up, see, I'm too grown for this. People say that, and I really don't know what that means when it is placed next to or in contrast to their behavior, because a lot of times people say I'm too grown for this when they're acting the most childish. I'm too grown for this, and you're screaming and yelling and slamming and not really making sense and not articulating your point. That's not grown, that's childish. Being grown is being able to identify and be self-aware, to know what the change is in you, to know what's happening with you, and to be able to articulate that without attacking. So when we grow up in ourselves, one of the ways that we know we're not going to fall out with people is, am I approaching this conversation ready to attack? Am I ready to pounce on you? Do I want to talk to you because I have a list in my head of all the things that I'm going to tell you that you did not do, should have done, could have done, and now won't do because I won't give you the chance? Am I poised to attack? Because if that's my stance, if that's my position, then I haven't grown up in myself. I'm looking for a way to fall out with you. I'm looking for a way to create distance. And listen, we need space in relationships. You can't be up under people all of the time. You get sick of yourself. You're going to get sick of people. Listen, that's just the reality. You can be in love, so in love, and you'll fall back in love. But there will be some days when you're out of love. And what sustains me in the impasse between being out of love when I'm not really feeling you and I'm kind of side-eyeing you, as opposed to when I'm in love singing Bet You By Golly Wow. What sustains me? Being grown up, doing the work of love when the feelings of love are not as strong or not as peak as they are in other seasons. That's just a reality. It's just a reality. And it's an impasse that we pass through. Why? Because we're constantly changing. We're constantly changing. So how do I know that I'm not falling out with people when I grow up with myself? Well, number one, I am able to acknowledge the changes that happen in me. So I don't walk around telling everybody else something's wrong. Something's wrong in this house. Yeah, you. It's like if something's changed in you, it's you. Everyone is not going to change the way that you change. So if something's going on with you, own that this is going on with you. I'm able to acknowledge the change. Secondly, I'm able to articulate it. I can say what's wrong, what's right, what is different in me. And this is a big one. It means you got to spend some time with yourself. You have to be able to really identify with yourself. You have to eliminate distractions. You're not going to know what's going on with you if you spend all of your time avoiding you. So it may mean shutting down social media, shutting down some conversations, and just really spending some time with yourself to have a one-on-one. Girl, what is up with you? Man, you've been on edge lately. What's up? Talk with yourself. Talk it out. Write it out. If there is a way that if there's a vehicle, a tool, a pastime that you use to kind of stir your emotions or get into a place that keeps you in touch with yourself, then follow that. But get the information that you need to be able to articulate what's going on with you. So once I can acknowledge what's happening, once I can articulate the changes that are taking place or the changes that I intend to make, then thirdly, I don't go on the attack. Just because I have changed does not mean I have to then destroy people who are not ready to make the same change. It doesn't mean I have to attack people who haven't changed. I don't get on a warpath. I don't then begin to tear down others because I'm building up myself. You can grow up, you can exit a relationship, you can change, you can move to another level without besmirching, without gossiping, without slandering, without even telling the ugly truths that you know about people. That's not growing up. That's really attacking people, and it's rude to attack people once you leave. If you've made an exit and you're not going to be in connection to fix a problem, then you shouldn't bring it up. Why are you addressing a problem that you have no intentions being involved in the solution? Why are you pointing something out that you're unwilling to get involved in fixing? If you're not going to fix the picture on the wall, don't tell me that it's crooked. If you're going to bring it to my attention, if you're going to lay a problem out, then be part of the solution. Do not just expose a problem and make an exit. If you're going to expose it because you've seen it, because you've identified it, and because it connected with you enough for you to feel compelled to speak on it, then you should be involved in the process of finding a solution to that problem. So if you're not going to help someone to grow, if you're not going to help them get to the next level, then don't articulate what their problem is. Don't tell them what's wrong with them. That's for them to figure out. You don't have to say what's wrong with them, even if you have made observations that are useful. Use your I statements, because the change is about what's happening with me. I am trying to change my conversation. Not all you do is gossip. Well, I didn't have a problem with you gossiping last week when I was listening to the gossip. So if I've decided I want to be mindful of my communication, then I don't need to attack you. If you're not in that same place, I can simply state, acknowledge and articulate what's wrong, what's right with me. I have realized that my speaking about people, the way that I talk about people, and the conversations that I have about people in their absence really grieve my conscience. They really don't make me feel good. And thinking about it, I don't want someone to talk about me when I'm absent. So I'm working on my communication. I don't want to be a part of conversations that don't build people up, even if they're not around. Everything that I articulated about myself has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what I've decided I'm going to change. So, acknowledge the change. Acknowledge what's taking place in you. Do your soul work. Spend some time with yourself. Stop avoiding yourself. Stop falling into distractions. Plug in and really know what's going on with you. Secondly, articulate the change. If you can't find words, don't act out because you can't speak up. If you can't find words yet, put the brakes on it. Put it on pause until you can find words. And when people can see you struggling or see you in transition and they ask, hey, what's going on? You all right? I'm really going through some changes. I'm trying to put words to it. I'm trying to define it. I'm not there yet, but thanks so much for noticing. Thanks for offering your support. And if people can be of a support to you and you can identify those ways, then acknowledge it. I really appreciate your prayers. I haven't felt the best lately. I really appreciate you asking me and being concerned. Thanks for coming to me directly. I have gone through some changes lately, and it just means a lot that you would take an interest and ask instead of attacking or assuming that it's a problem I have with you. I really appreciate that. This is how you can help me. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate you asking. Find ways that will help you grow. So if you want, again, this is part of being able to acknowledge the change. If you want more friends, then find ways to be friendly. If you want more support, then find ways that people can support you. What does support look like? What do you want from people? I just want more. I want people to be there. Well, what is there? You can't say I want people to be there, but then I don't like company. It's a contradiction. Be able to articulate what's going on with you clearly. And then lastly, don't attack. Once you have the information about yourself, once you know what has changed and what is changing in you, once you can articulate those changes, do not go on an attack. Just because you are at another place and another level does not give you the right to attack those whom you think or presume are beneath you or behind you in whatever change you're making. It doesn't give you the right to attack, and it's arrogant to do so. You're just now entering this transition. You're just now mastering this change. You're not the expert yet. You've just figured out what's going on with you. So how are you going to attack someone else when you've just discovered something about yourself? Take time to be in that discovery, find out what you need, work very, very, very hard and very diligently to articulate what it is. This is a time to find your words. When you're changing, it's an awkward time. It can be uncomfortable. It can be difficult to go through seasons and transitions in relationships. And just because a relationship's going through a transition doesn't mean that it's over. If you can do the work and the other person can do the work as well, then the relationship will change, it will evolve, it will grow, and you will grow together and not apart. When that is not the case, and one or both of you is not willing or able to do the work that it would take for that relationship to be healthy, then we exit in integrity. And when we exit in integrity, we become a guardian of dignity. What that means is, I don't take what I learned about you. I don't take what I know about you. I don't take the vulnerabilities of your dignity that I was privy to because we're in relationship, and I don't use those against you. If I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave you better. I'm going to leave better than I was entering the relationship. But not only myself, I'm going to leave you better, which means I'm not going to attack. It's just that simple. I'm going to exit without an attack. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to come after you in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to attack your reputation. I'm not going to attack your character flaws. I'm not going to attack your loved ones. I'm not going to attack your interest. I'm just not going to attack because I'm not on the defensive. If you're still in attack mode and you're still defending, you're still in a position of being against. You're in a contradictory position. You are still opposed. And there's no need for that. You don't have to be opposed to something to exit it. You can just leave because it's time to go. It's just time to go. And that's all right. Remember, exits are not ugly. When it's over, it's over. It's not ugly. It's not evil. They're not the exorcist. And we don't have to spin our head around and spit green stuff. I can acknowledge my change. I can articulate my change, and I can exit in integrity. Be a guardian of your dignity by not attacking you when I leave. Hope this was helpful. We're going to try to do this VIP coaching a little bit more. Listen, these videos I don't do for myself. I don't really like to hear myself talk. It is a great leap out of my comfort zone to make these videos. So I really appreciate your response. I'm acknowledging that I am changing, being more client facing, and really trying to connect with you guys on a personal level. And since social media is one of the ways that you're interested in, I am here. So I'm doing the work, and I appreciate you being here to do it with me. But I need feedback. So I want to know, when you watch these videos, if you're sharing them with your audience and your followers, thank you so much. But hit me back. Tweet me at NicoleAzan.com, NicoleA like apple, Z like zebra, A like apple, A like apple, and of course, like Nicole. Give me a line, email me at info@NicoleAzan.com. Visit the website. We've made some updates and some changes so that it's easier for you to navigate. You can always continue some of the work that we do in these brief coaching sessions, one-on-one with myself in VIP coaching. You also, guys, can start your own coaching group. You need a minimum of 5 people to start a private group. So if there's a particular issue that you and your friends are struggling with, maybe communication, maybe relationships. I have a few married groups that have small groups that meet in private sessions. Whatever the issue is, get the people around you that will hold you accountable. Get your friends, get your 5 closest friends, and make that commitment. Hey guys, let's do this together. Let's work on this for the next 6 months. You do need to have 5 people. Everybody's got to get involved, and we are going to work for a minimum of 6 months. That's the time frame. So if you're interested in a private group, we can talk about that. Visit NicoleAzan.com. And of course, I have a few individual sessions left for individual coaching. Some of you asked about some of the support groups that we do, the life after trafficking or traumatic experience empowerment group that happens online. That is a closed group for survivors of sex trafficking. So that's a closed group. Girls are doing really well. The women are doing very well. Really proud of that group. If you would like to get someone entered into the group, you do need to apply and contact myself. So just email info@NicoleAzan.com. And I want feedback. I want to know what stands out in the videos. What are your takeaways? Is it helpful to you? What are you learning? How are you applying these action steps? So holler back at me at NicoleAzan.com. Of course, visit the website, and I look forward to connecting with you. It will be awesome, I think, for all of us to kind of get to know each other a little bit better and work together on living on our best level indeed. So I'm excited. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited that you've taken time to tune in and to stay connected. Thanks so much. If you miss the video or you're on Periscope and it disappears, not to worry. The replay link is always the same. It's catch.me, KATCH. /me/Nicole Azan. All the replays are there, and occasionally I'll upload maybe once a month a featured replay on the website. So between those 2 sites, we will keep in excellent contact, and I'm so excited about it. This is fun. It's getting fun for me. I'm beginning to like Periscope. So good deal, guys. You've almost converted me, not all the way, but almost converted me. Thanks so much for your comments. Gotta go because I need to rest my voice a little bit, and I'm still fighting a cold. So thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your feedback. Yes, someone asked, the YouTube channel is Consuetude EE. So just go to Nicole Azan on Twitter. And if you go through my followers, Consuetude is the home of VIP coaching. It's the everyday excellence consultancy that was founded by myself. So we provide VIP coaching, of course, executive consultations, and media publishing. So Consuetude's video channel is where some of the other videos are, like the prayer for financial breakthrough, and some of the videos from, hey, welcome, Shubi, some of the videos from prior VIP coaching sessions. So if you missed them, just follow my feed on Nicole Lazan and you'll see it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do have to run, but listen, tweet me comments and questions and topics that you want to talk about. We are, of course, continuing just with the exes and relationships that really seem to resonate and really be a spot. So watch the videos. Tell me what you take away. Do the action steps. I want to hear how you're plugging in your top 5, and I want to see your list and how this is working for you. Of course, I'm Nicole Lazan, your VIP coach, always encouraging you to cultivate vision, clarify intention, and understand purpose. I want you to live on your best level because there's more to life than what you're getting out of it right now. Thanks for staying connected. I'll see you soon.